Okay, here we go. Give us a shot. Yeah. Ah, there we go. Much better. Okay, folks. I don't like that I have to do this, but there's a lot of problems in the gaming world, ranging from back in the past to today. And one of them is a problem that happens quite often, especially with the company Capcom. Capcom. Capcom! Calm down, Javen. Just calm down. Just breathe. You'll get through this. Anyways, my beef with Capcom is the constant releasing of games like Street Fighter or Marvel vs. Capcom. Now, those are great games, don't get me wrong. But who of you went out and bought Street Fighter 4 or Marvel vs. Capcom? Probably several of you. But who really owns that game anymore? Either one of those games. You probably own Super Street Fighter 4 or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because, in traditional Capcom fashion, after releasing said game, they release a much better version just a couple months later at the same price with like 1 million more characters. This isn't the first offense that Capcom has committed, especially against me. Especially against me. There's a game. I played this a long time ago. It was a very, very long time ago. I think it's been 10 years. Almost 11 years now. Maybe more. Megaman Legends. Not the best gameplay in the world for a Mega Man game, but, in my opinion, had the best plot, and that's what kept me hooked to that game series. All three games, I think it was The Misadventures of Tron Bonne, Mega Man Legends, and Mega Man Legends 2. And occasionally I would reminisce about Mega Man Legends 2 and how much fun I had playing and finding out the story to this game, and then just to be reminded of how it ended. Mega Man is on some other distant world in space, and they're going to build a rocket ship to go try and save him. The end. Was not very happy about this ending. I mean, I was glad I beat the game, but I wanted closure, and I never got that. Then a couple years back, I remember looking up Mega Man Legends, and I was like, oh, well, we're going to Mega Man Legends 2. I was just going through rereading the plot and stuff. I'm a nerd. I do it sometimes. I just can't help it. And when I got to Mega Man Legends 2, I saw third sequel. What? It's been like 10 years while they released a game all of a sudden, so I clicked on it, and Capcom had announced they're going to make the third game, the stunning conclusion to Mega Man Legends, the story. And it's going to feature more characters, better gameplay, and great graphics. Even better, they even reached out to the community, telling the fans, we want your ideas, this is your game, we want you to help us develop this game and come up with ideas to make it better. And that's exactly what the fans did. They hopped on board like that. And then, after a little while, I got a text message from a friend. Stormwolf, you may know him from the Facebook page. Dude, I just read Capcom has canceled Mega Man Legends 3. Once I read that, my heart dropped to the bottom of my soul. And then I text back, WTF? What the F does that mean? He goes, well, they're not gonna make the game. If my phone didn't cost $400, I would have thrown it across the room in a fit of anger. But I controlled myself and just rigorously researched this, because that's what we nerds do. When we just have to find out something, is that we have to rigorously research it immediately. And I got on it, and I'm typing it in, and I'm reading it, I'm like, what is this? This is ridiculous! And I read the reason why The reason why Capcom canceled Mega Man Legends 3 is because they said the fans didn't want Mega Man Legends 3. We didn't support the idea enough. And that it just wasn't going to be as big of a success as they thought it was going to be. What the hell does that mean? When the fans essentially created that game. I mean, you guys got the easy part. So, excuse me if I have a little bit of resentment towards Capcom, because I waited 10 years! 10 years for a sequel. An ending to that game. And now the ending will forever be Mega Man is lost in a distant world in space, and they're building a rocket ship to come save him. The end. One second. Alright. That's fine and all. I can get over 10 years! Many people have heard this rant, and I just want more people to hear it, I suppose. I've captured a many person against their will just to rigorously explain why this is a travesty against me and my 10 years of living after the second game. Where's my hat? This is a serious moment. Alright. Capcom, you really need to listen to the fans more. That's all I have to say. You know, if you're going to make a game like Street Fighter 4 or Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I understand what it comes to, down to the bone, in the end, is money. You made Street Fighter 4, you made Super Street Fighter 4, and made a ton of money off of both of them because you're like, here, you like Street Fighter 4? Well, how about Super Street Fighter 4 with like 20 more characters? Well, of course everyone's going to be like, well, sure, we'd love Super Street Fighter 4 with 20 more characters. But what they don't realize is they're just buying the same game with just more characters. What I would have rather them done is just release DLC with characters you can buy and download. But no, they did not do that. They basically made you buy a whole separate game. And the same for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They released 2 DLC characters, and in the end, just ended up making up a whole other game for the rest of them. And now, I grant you, they're fun games. I play them both. I stink at both of them. But I've had a lot of fun playing them. Now, on to another offender. Is Namco Bandai. Namco Bandai, I'm getting tired of you guys releasing Tales of games in Japan, and then just holding it in front of our face like, oh, you like Tales of games? Look, you'll never get this one. And that just burns me up. Like, I bought Tales of Vesperia for the 360. Good game. Just an awesome game. But then they re-released it for the PS3 with more cutscenes and an additional character that you don't get to use in the 360 version. Now, then they released Tales of Graces. Once again, a great game. But then they re-released it for the Wii. Not in America. Once again, these were not in America. The ones they re-released were not in America. With more characters, more content, and it's not coming to America. That's fine and dandy, but why can't you just release some DLC so we can have some of the extra stuff that we don't get in our version? I understand they're trying to get people to buy the new version of the game, but that really irks off a lot of nerds who have bought the game previously before that. Same thing with Beautiful Joe. I love Beautiful Joe. It's a great game. I bought it for the GameCube, and I've played the crap out of it, and that disc is probably worn out. But they re-released it for the PS2, and they added a bunch more content, like they always do. Once again, this is a Capcom game we're talking about. And they did the same thing with Resident Evil 4. Released for the GameCube, released it to the PS2 with more content. Then they re-released it for the Wii with extremely, like, a lot more content. Which, to be honest, the Wii version is probably the best out of the three, in my opinion, just because you get more content, and the gameplay is actually a lot more functional. Now, Namco Bandai, Capcom, please, just think more of the fans, especially Capcom's statement about fans and how they did not want this game, when it was not true, and the fans had actually created the working demo for the game that they were asking to make. So, that just... I don't understand what they wanted more of. Anyways, one more thing before I go. Video game movies. Okay, fair enough. You win some, you lose some, folks. The Halo movie, Forward Unto the Dawn, it's an okay movie. I enjoyed it. I wanted it to focus more on Master Chief and the Halo series, but, you know, we pretty much did all that in the games anyways, I guess. And, horror video games. Like, Silent Hill, Shattered Memory... No, not Shattered Memories. Revelations. Okay. Alright, let me read you, the description on here. An action-packed, super gory nail-biter of a horror movie. Not true. It was an okay movie, but it was not scary whatsoever. Really, at one point in the movie, when I was watching it, I pretty much just threw everything I know about Silent Hill out the window, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit back, relax, just watch this movie. I mean, ignore that not shoes on there. And just sit back, relax, and enjoy this movie, because at one point it just wasn't making any sense anymore. I mean, Pyramid Head operating a carousel, apparently it was like his journey to live his dream of operating a carousel, just to have it ruined by demons. And in the end, Pyramid Head ends up fighting this crazy monster. I'm like, what does this have to do with Silent Hill? You know what? It's a cool fight scene, I'll watch it, I'll accept it, I suppose. And so basically, I just threw out everything I knew about Silent Hill, just enjoyed the moment, but it was not a scary movie. A scary movie to me, Woman in Black, that was a good one. Mama was a good one, regardless of what people say, that movie was scurry. It was not scary, it was scurry. Anyways, another one, Grudge. It's just one that I do not want to rewatch, just because I have nightmares. And the Resident Evil movies, I pretty much threw out everything I knew about that from day one. They're ridiculous, they're dumb, they're silly, they're stupid, but we go and watch them because it's an action thriller and has some of the characters that we love so much, even if they do get them horribly wrong at times. And I've always enjoyed watching Milla Jovovich kill things, especially dressed in scantily clothing, I suppose. Why is most movies she's in their action thrillers have her naked at one point? Got off the rails there on that one. Never mind. So basically, that's it for this rant. 10 years! 10 years, why? I just don't get it anymore. So I take my hat off and pray that Capcom, Namco Bandai, and whoever keeps making these crappy video game movies just open their eyes and realize what the fans really want. Listen to the fans, talk to them, ask them what they want. Get us more involved, and you will get a response back. And that response back may lead to something even greater and better than what you thought you could have made before. But some people just don't want to open up that avenue because they think they already know everything. So, with that being said, that is it for, I guess, what I'm going to call Nerd World Problems. I hope you guys enjoyed. You might hear more back from me in the near future. So, I raise my glass to you, to all the other nerds, here at Nerdssocialize, thank you. Gunpie. That's it for this nerdy rant on Nerd World Problems. If you've got any issues you'd like to have addressed, or anything you want to rant about, just leave a comment down below. You can also catch us on Facebook.com/Nerdssocialize, Twitter.com/Nerdssocialize, or our website at Nerdssocialize.com. You can even shoot us an email at Nerdssocializers@gmail.com. And yes, folks, that's a lot of nerds socializing, but that's what we're here for. So, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe below. See ya!